Hi, my name is Mercer May, and today I'll be your professor. And what we're going to be talking about today is the option E of IB biology. And that pretty much covers neurobiology and examples of behaviors, which for you people that don't understand that, it basically means how your mind works, why you see things certain ways, why you feel things certain ways, and why you do things certain ways. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing that we got to talk about is that, all animals are related to the environment and context, meaning that you're not going to have a human living in water, because we can't, because we don't have gills. That's why fish live in there, because they have gills. Other mammals, such as dolphins who have adapted, have a blowhole, they can do it. Innate behavior develops independently of the environmental context. Basically, what that means is that you learn things not because of the environment that you're in, but because of who you are as a person. But learned behavior reflects conditions experienced by individuals during development. So that pretty much means, the way that you're grown up, and the way that you're born, and the way that you experience your childhood changes who you kind of are as a person. Natural selection, which is of course Darwin's theory, is very important. Now, a lot of people don't know what Darwin's theory is. It's 4 different things. It's, good fun. But what we're interested in is the development of behavioral patterns. And basically what that means is that if you have a fish that's extremely aggressive versus a passive fish, and you're looking for homes, which one is going to be more successful in finding said shelter is of course going to be the aggressive fish. And in all animals, well, not animals, but using the species of birds or mammals, we're to explain migration, grooming, communication, courtship, and all of that stuff. Now, here comes the fun part. Ready? Well, gosh, Dr. May, well, I don't know what any of that stuff is. Well, that's where I'm here to help out. Migration, you know what migration is. It's the moving from point A to point B that so many things do. Horseshoe crabs do it, and they're one of the most basic of animals. They've been around since basically dinosaur times, and yet, fun fact, the tail and the shell, and they don't have a single aggressor part of them. Everything that they have is for defensive purposes, and matter of fact, the tail isn't even for defensive purposes. It's just to flip itself back over. Grooming, from humans to monkeys to cats to dogs, we all groom, and that's in order to keep ourselves clean and to keep ourselves, in shape. Communication, clearly humans communicate, but bird songs or the crazy desert animals that you were talking about, or that Dr. Walk was talking about earlier, where one of them will squawk when they hear something coming and kind of take one for the team, if you know what I mean. Courtship, again, humans do it, yo bro, which way did the beach ball go? Sort of courtship. A better example, of course, would be like a peacock, who flashes his feathers, or a mallard duck, things like that. Mostly birds that flash feathers or do a dance. And mate selection is through that courtship, who has the brightest plume, who has, the best dance, and all those things. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part, and that is perception of stimulus. And basically, sensory receptors act as energy transducers. Whoa, bruh! What's an energy transducer? Like, that totally blows my mind. Well, crazy pothead guy that wears a blue hat. All sensory receptors convert energy from the stimulus, so sound waves or light waves, into some sort of electrical energy that your nerves and your body can use. All animals, all organisms use this. Organisms that can't see can still feel things, and it's important for that because that's how the nerves send said signals in order for the mind to figure it out. The human sensory receptors are classified as Make, yeah, excuse my pronunciation on this. Mechanoceptors, chemoceptors, thermoceptors, and photoceptors. Da, comrade, I know that, but I don't know what what you just said. I don't know the specifics of this. Well, Vladimir, I can go ahead and explain this. A mechanoreceptor is mechanical energy. Pretty much if I was to punch this table, I would feel something, and that would be the mechanoreceptor. A chemoreceptive would be chemicals, you know. And humans don't really, I mean, we have that, but not as strongly as, say, fish in the sea who can sense change in pH. Or, yeah, we'll just go with that. That's a good example. And then you have thermoreceptors. The horseshoe crab is a great example of this. It can feel a 1 degree change from its left side of the body to its right side of the body. It can tell which water is cooler using said thermoreceptors. And photoreceptors is what humans mostly rely on, and that's light, and that's in our eyes. Everything that you see is a light wave coming at you, but we take it and we turn it into something way more productive, which is what we see. And now, I know I'm supposed to draw a human eye and all the human retina, but I'll get back to that, because I have something more important to talk about. I need to talk about the difference between cone cells and rod cells. They're both in your eye, but they are both very differently important. Rods function in dim light, while cones do better in bright light. Rod cells absorb all types of light and give a monochrome, while cone cells are kind of like your HD, like they give you like the red, the blue, and the green, which all colors are thus made of, which is way more important than black and white. And that's why they say that, you know, humans have more cone cells than most other animals, like dogs. For instance, dogs can only see in black and white. You know, they have more rod cells. The visual stimuli are processed in the retina and the visual cortex. Basically what happens is that we see it and it hits our retina, and then the retina takes it way back here. See these things back here? These are nerve impulses. Got it. And they turn it into the optic nerve using ganglion cells. Forgive the pronunciation again. I don't know if that's right. The left and right optic nerve meet on opposite sides of the brain, actually. So the left eye gets processed in the right brain, and the right eye gets processed in the left brain. Crazy, I know. And the image that you actually see in your head is actually upside down. When it crosses over, it flips as well. But your brain is smart enough to reflip it. So all that just to see. Just to see. Well, let's move on to innate behavior. Innate behavior is a behavior inherited by genes, which of course occurs in all species of everything. Every animal is born with some type of gene in its body. You know, mating is a big one, you know. Like a peacock knows what to do to get a mate before it's even born, because that's an innate behavior. The pain withdrawal reflex is very important. And basically what that is because some people, you have to understand, are born without pain receptors. Hey, what do you mean you're born without pain receptors, man? Like, then I could totally, like, kill all the gang members and be like, yo, what's up, homie? But, yeah, but it's actually a bad thing. Pain is actually a good thing. It teaches you a lot. And, you know, not only teaches, but protects you. There's a reason that you sense pain, and that's because pain is bad, and you associate that. For instance, you touch a hot stove. It's, ow! Like, it hurts, clearly. You know, it's going to be painful. It's going to burn a little bit. So you pull your hand away. If you didn't have that, you would just, and before you know it, your hand would be fried to the grill, and you wouldn't have a hand anymore. And you couldn't feel it, so you couldn't pull it away. So pain is actually incredibly important. Talk about the structure of the spinal cord. You know, you have the gray matter and the white matter on top, you know. I'll draw that and turn it into you. Don't worry about it. Got it. Got it in my book.